So we got the update on Bruno G's transfer to Arsenal earlier today from Ben Jacobs of Talksport, where he said Arsenal and Newcastle are close to agreeing a fee for Bruno Guimarães. And based on the report we had earlier in the week, during the weekend, where it was said we're going back to Newcastle with a fee around 75 million, which could rise up to 80 million. So if we're just to speculate as to how much the fee for Bruno G might be, it will fall within the price of 75 to 80 million. And regardless, even if we end up going as high as 85 million, I do think it's worth it. I mean, you can have some reservation regarding the age or regarding the fact that we might be paying this much for a player in the last year or in a player going into the last year of his contract. And I can see your argument. But on the flip side to that, we are probably getting one of the best midfielders in the league. Not probably, I mean, when I say one of the top 5, top 6 midfielders in the Premier League. We might be getting that player by the end of the week. And I'm really, really glad that this deal is going to be, we will be having a resolution to this deal by the end of the weekend. And every chance I get, I'm just going to fully express how much I like this player and how much I think is going to walk into that team and immediately improves the midfield. It's safe to say that everyone at their best, Bruno G would be a top 2, top 3 midfielder in this Arsenal team at the moment. And I'm counting 23, 24 Odegaard, 22-23 season Odegaard, like the very peak of Odegaard in this argument. And I can still say that at the very least, Bruno G is going to be our third best midfielder. Again, he's going to raise our level. And I do feel he's also going to be the most complete midfielder we have in that team. Is the one that I can rest assured know that for sure he can play with anyone you put next to him. You can pair him with Lewis Kelly, him playing the 6, Lewis Kelly playing as the 8, it's going to work. You can pair him with Zubimendi playing the 6, him playing the left 8, you pair him with Schweiss. Like any combination of the central midfielders you apply or you play with Bruno G is going to work. And that is going to help with our flexibility because of the number of games we're likely going to play. We would need to properly manage this player. We don't want the same thing that happened to, for instance, Zubimendi last season where he played so much game that by the end of the season, he just couldn't carry on. That's not going to happen. Same thing to apply to Rice. We've played Rice way too many minutes over the last few years. And I feel like with Bruno G coming, that's going to reduce some of the pressure, some of the minutes Rice plays. It's just going to take some of the burden away from Declan Rice because we need to start managing these players. We don't want them to overplay themselves to the point that they start picking injury, which is kind of already happening. We are already seeing repercussion of overplaying midfielders. And I also do think Bruno G brings something that we will lack in the midfield. For the past 2 seasons now, we've struggled with progressing ball from the base of the midfield up to the pitch. Last season, the less I say, because I don't want to have any bad thing to say about last season, given what we did last season. But there's an argument how that between Rice and Zubimendi, they both struggled in progressing the ball. This is something Bruno Guimarães can come and help us with. You're also going to get the output from him. I think in the league he had about 9 goals, 5 assists. So that's a combined 14 goal contribution. That's the same amount of goal contribution we have from our top goal scorer last season. Imagine getting something close to that, even if it's just 80% of that from the midfield. It's going to help. It's going to help our team that we really could do with more goals. So I do feel like the transfer was just the news today from Ben Jacobs was pleasing to hear because I was wondering if we're only just focusing on the Vinigi transfer and taking our eyes away from other deals. But it's glad to know that we are pursuing two very, very top deals. I mean, say we get Bruno G, that is the best midfielder that has moved this summer window in the Premier League. Say we manage to get Vinícius Júnior, that is one of the best. It would probably be the best player that would move this summer. These are very, very big deals. I really am glad that we've gotten to this point where we can make this deal. I know it's been years now that Arteta has been trying to get Bruno G. We wanted him before he went to Newcastle, and now this is the opportunity to get the player. Again, this is also a player that is willing, that has expressed feelings of wanting to come play for us now. Because I know for some reason we've been doing I don't want this player because he doesn't want to play for us. I know it's important to take those things into consideration, but I do feel like as a fan base, we tend to go too far with things of that nature. But again, 75 million, 8 million, 85 million, whatever it is, I'm just glad that we would be getting a resolution to that transfer dealing this week. So this is a good start to the week. Hopefully we get a much more bigger news before the end goes. But talking about other news that we've had this week, I mean, we had the news from Florian Plattenberg, I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly, where he said, regarding Vinicius Jr., where he said, Marge, we are going back to him with the counter offer. I don't necessarily know what a counter offer is because I don't know what it is they'll be countering, because I don't think we've made a deal to Vinicius Jr. So I guess they'll probably be countering the previous deals they've been offering Vinicius Jr. regarding his wage, because for the longest we've all known that Vinicius wants something closer to what Mbappe is earning. But over the past few months, I think Marjorie and Florentino Perez has made it known to him that they are not willing to meet his expectations, but they could always meet him halfway if he's willing to deal with them. I think Marjorie are going back with that same proposal, or maybe something better now that Arsenal is looking to sign him, hoping that they can extend his deal. But again, how much more can they pay him? He's already on 410, 420, depending on the outlets you check. And I don't know how high that amount can go. I've even seen report of him earning 500k. So there's only so much high Marjorie can go with regards to increasing his wages. But I hope that doesn't work out for them, because I really need this player in the team. I mean, just the thought of us signing Vinicius Jr. is even funny to think about. This is something we could not have thought of doing a couple of seasons ago, a couple of summers ago. It's just to show you how far we've come as a club, where it feels like we can go for the very, very best players. I mean, remember the days we tried to get players like Suarez or players like Mbappe. Like, I know we've had players like Sanchez coming to the team, Ozil coming to the team. But to be fair to these players and to be honest in general, they are not in the caliber of players like Mbappe, Suarez, the very, very top player. And not to say that Vinicius Jr. is also in that category of a Suarez or a Mbappe. I don't think he is, but I think he's as close as you can get to those kind of players right now in the market. And again, the output is almost guaranteed. 64 goals contribution in about 82 games in the Champions League. This is a competition we haven't won. So just imagine that player bringing that talent into this team and how he can maybe help us take that step further. So I really am looking forward to getting an update on that transfer. At the very least, let's know what we are doing. Because as the days goes by, the options that was already limited on the left wings gets more limited. Because now we're hearing the Barcola is not going to be signing a new contract with PSG and is looking to go to Liverpool. I think he's made his preference known that he wants only Liverpool. That is another target that is probably out of our sight. I don't even know if we're necessarily looking at him, but if we're not at this very moment, we definitely probably would not be able to get a chance at door, particularly for the amount PSG would be are requesting for. I think I saw the news of them demanding over 170 million. That's just crazy. That's that's just crazy to think about. Right. I'm sure Liverpool are not gonna pay anything close to that, but I do feel like if Liverpool are gonna get him, they'll probably pay about 130, 150, 140 for a player that is going into the last year of his contract. It just I can see the desperation in most clubs that really do need a top left winger. I can see how desperate we are. And in the case of Liverpool, I don't even know if he's necessarily going to play on the left wing because we I've been hearing from their fan base saying, oh, maybe Rio Ngomora plays on the left and he plays and um what's his name? Bakula plays on the right. So again, it's still very funny to think that you might be paying that amount of money to play a player out of his favorite position. Yes, I know he's good. He's also good or efficient on the right, but his favorite position has still been the left for the past few seasons. So that's one target gone. And the names after Bakula, there's just a drop in talent and quality that it might never be worthwhile to even bother. Because when I try to check, the names left are probably Rafael Leao, who hasn't been good since the 21, 22 seasons, where I think that was the last time Milan won the league, where he won I think the MVP or the best player in Serie A. I was like top goal scorer, tied with Giroud. I think if I'm not misremembering, that was the last time that this guy has been good. And for whatever reason, he hasn't been able to take that step. He hasn't been able to make the next leap in his career. If anything, I feel like he has even regressed as a player. I think the window for him to move to a big club has kind of shrinked or has kind of disappeared in a way. So I don't want that player. Like I know he's probably going to be very cheap right now, but I still don't want that player. Then who is the next option? Nusa from RB Leipzig. I also don't want that player because I remember checking his stats, I think last week or so, and his goal contribution over the past 2 seasons has been what 20 GA. I mean, combined last season and the previous season, his goal contribution has been just 20. That's like Martinelli's number. And this is a player that has played over 70 games or thereabout over the last 2 seasons. And his numbers in a poor, I wouldn't say poor, but in a German league that we all know is not as good as the Premier League, you can start to see where the worry is. So I am very, very worried as to what the options are going to be, say we don't get Vinicius Junior. And I feel like a lot of Arsenal fans are also worried about that particular aspect of the deal. And talking about all the transfer news regarding Arsenal so far, I think we saw the news that John Stones is leaving to go to Inter Milan. And this was a player that I thought we could maybe get on a rental, on a 1 year loan or on a 1 year deal or something, just so we could manage with Saliba picking up an injury. But now that he's going, I don't even think we really looked at him per se, but we did see the report that Arsenal considered him. Now that he's going to Inter Milan, that is that deal gone. Though we heard earlier today that we were going for the Como defender. I can't even remember his name again. Jacoby Ramon, the 21-year-old Como defender. And I checked I did a bit of reading on him to see how good of a player he is. Apart from the fact that he's very tall and also very young, I think his numbers or his stats hold up in the Serie A. We've had these issues where players from the Serie A move to the Premier League and kind of struggle a bit. Although this is a 21-year-old player, so to be fair, I really don't know what to say on this particular deal, other than the fact that Arsenal are looking to other players to come into the team to just to replace Saliba in the meantime, because we need to keep that defense as strong as it can be. Though I don't know how we're going to manage um, the development of two very young defenders, because we already have Musquera that needs both game time and development time. Getting another 21-year-old player who is also going to need game time and more development time. I don't know how we're going to be able to manage both players when Saliba comes back from injury, because we only have so much minutes to share across the defense, and that is our most taxed part of the team. Anyways, I think that's all I have for today. If you do like anything about the video, please leave a like, leave a comment, and stuff like that. Anyways, enjoy your week and go say a prayer somewhere that we get this deal done. Let's really, really kick off. I know we've gotten Solis and we've been hearing good thing about Solis from training, but I do feel like we need something more just to get the fan base a bit excited going into next season. And again, this is our time to make the most of whatever we can do. There's so much opportunity right now to improve as a team, to do what we've never done before, which is going back to back in the Premier League era. And the last time we did that, and in the Premiership era, would probably be like in the 30s or the 40s. That's like a long time ago. So yes, I do feel we have the opportunity now, and I feel like we need to get some of these deals. Just get Arteta some of the players he needs, and hopefully everything goes our way. Anyway, thank you so much for your time.